Hello dear students, myself Rashmi Tripathi, associated with Rajkumar Goel Institute of Technology, Ghaziabad. So, today I will discuss the one more topic of the unit 1 of pharmacology 2. So, today's topic is anti-anginal drugs. So, first of all we know what is the angina pectoris. Okay. Before going to the study of the drugs, we must know what is the angina pectoris. So, basically angina pectoris is an pain condition, is an episodic pain or sequencing sensation that is felt in the chest, and it is caused by the reversible myocardial ischemia. Okay, what is the condition of the myocardial ischemia? Myocardial ischemia is the condition in which decreased supply of blood. Okay, and due to the supply of blood, due to the decreased supply of blood, metabolites are accumulate in the myocardial and produce pain. Okay. So, disease of the cardiovascular system cause of the further complications of the cardiovascular system, like if atherosclerosis occur in the blood vessel, this cause the ischemia condition. Okay. And if ischemia takes place, this causes the anginal pain, and if ischemia persists for further, it causes the myocardial infarction. Okay. So, one disease of the cardiovascular system is the cause of the disease of other cardiovascular system. Okay. So, basically angina pectoris is a chest pain caused by the accumulation of the metabolites due to the deficient supply of the blood. Now, come to the symptoms of the disease. What are the symptoms of the angina pectoris? So, basically patient feel the pain in the chest, and this pain radiate into the neck, jaw, left arm and rarely into the back. Okay. Patient also feel the shortness of breathing, heartburn, dizziness and fatigue. Next, come to the classification of the angina pectoris or types of the angina pectoris. Basically, angina pectoris are of three types. First is the classical or stable angina, second is the variant Prinzmetal or vasospastic angina, and third is the unstable angina. So, first classical angina is due to the presence of atheroma in the blood vessel, okay, and it induced by the exercise or due to the emotional disturbances. Okay. And next is the variant and vasospastic angina. It is due to the vasospasm in the coronary artery, okay, and it occur even at rest or during the sleep. So, this is called the vasospastic angina because it occur due to the coronary vasospasm. And third is the unstable angina that occur even during rest. In unstable angina, the atheroma that is present in the blood vessel is ruptured, and at that place platelets are aggregated and causes the coronary vasospasm. So, it is called unstable angina. Next, come to the category of drugs that are used to treat angina. Okay. So, these are the following category of drugs to treat the angina. First is nitrates. Okay. These are short acting or long acting nitrates depending on the onset of action and the route of drug administration. So, the examples of the short acting drugs are glyceryl trinitrate, isosorbide dinitrate. Isosorbide dinitrate, if given by the sublingually, it is act very shortly, that means they comes under the short acting category, and when we use isosorbide dinitrate orally, they take time to produce their effect. Okay. and second category is the isosorbide monodinitrate, erythritol, tetranitrate, etc. Okay. So, nitrates are used to treat the angina. The second category of the anti-anginal drugs are beta blockers, and basically cardioselective beta blockers are preferred in the angina. Okay. So, beta blockers like propranolol, metoprolol, atenolol are used in anginal condition. Third is the calcium channel blocker. Okay. So, calcium channel blocker like verapamil, diltiazem and dihydropyridine like amlodipine and nitridipine are used in the angina. Next category is the potassium channel opener. The example is nicorandil, and other anti-anginal drugs are trimetazine, ranolazine, ibabradine, oxyfedrine and dipyridamole. This is the classification of the anti-anginal drugs. Okay. So, firstly we will discuss the nitrates. What is the mechanism of nitrates? What are the pharmacological action of the nitrates? Okay. So, first we study the mechanism of action of the nitrates. So, basically nitrates causes the relaxation of the smooth muscle. Okay. How we see here, on the smooth muscle calcium channel is present. Okay. Calcium channel is present and through which calcium influx takes place within the cell, and then calcium is stored in the sarcoplasmic reticulum and causes the contraction, okay, with the help of myosin actin protein of filament. Okay. When we used organic nitrates, okay, or we can say here the prototype drug glyceryl trinitrate is used. When organic nitrates are used, when they enters into the cell or smooth muscle, they denitrated and converted into the nitric oxide. Okay. And when nitric oxide is formed, nitric oxide activate the guanyl cyclase. Okay. When the nitric oxide is formed, it activates the guanylyl cyclase, and guanylyl cyclase causes the formation of cyclic GMP by the GTP. It hydrolyzes the GTP and form the cyclic GMP, and cyclic GMP causes further function like it causes the dephosphorylation of the myosin light chain kinase, and for the contraction phosphorylation of the myosin light chain kinase is required. So, cyclic GMP causes the dephosphorylation of the myosin light chain kinase. So, contraction does not occur. Okay. And further cyclic GMP also block the calcium channel, or we can say it reduce the calcium entry within the cell, and if the calcium entry is reduced, calcium concentration within the cell is reduced, so muscle relaxation takes place. And what is the aim of the therapy? Because angina की condition है, angina produce क्यों हो रहा है? Due to the ischemia, that means प्रॉपर ब्लड की सप्लाई नहीं हो रही है, तो वी नीड टू डायलेट द ब्लड वेसल टू इम्प्रूव द सर्कुलेशन इन द मायोकार्डियम. So, this is the next we discuss the pharmacological actions of the nitrates. Okay. So, all nitrates produce same action, but they differ only in the time course. So, first action, what is the effect of nitrates on the preload? Okay. Nitrates dilate vein more than the arteries, and if vein is dilated, peripheral pooling of the blood takes place. That means जो वेनस रिटर्न है, जो हार्ट की तरफ ब्लड आ रहा है, वेनस रिटर्न इज ऑल्सो रिड्यूस्ड, एंड इफ वेनस रिटर्न इज रिड्यूस्ड, प्रीलोड इज डिक्रीज्ड. ठीक है. प्रीलोड कम होगा, दैट मीन्स जो एंड डायस्टोलिक वॉल्यूम है वो आपका कम हो जाएगा. इफ preload is decreased, myocardial workload is also decreased. According to the Laplace law, we can see that how the wall tension or myocardial workload is decreased due to the decreased in the ventricular size or ventricular pressure. So, Laplace law said that wall tension is equal to intraventricular pressure into ventricular radius. ठीक है. As per Laplace law, a decrease in ventricular pressure and heart size as due to reduced venous return result in a reduction in the myocardium wall tension and therefore reduce the oxygen requirement. अगर heart का size reduce हो रहा है, ventricular pressure reduced हो रहा है, तो जो work मायोकार्डियम को असाइन है उसका वर्कलोड भी कम हो जाएगा, जिसकी वजह से ऑक्सीजन की रिक्वायरमेंट भी कम हो जाएगी. नेक्स्ट इज द फार्माकोलॉजिकल एक्शन ऑफ नाइट्रेट्स ऑन afterload. What is the effect of nitrates on the afterload? Basically, nitrates also dilate the arteriole, and if nitrates dilate the arteriole, they decrease the TPR, that is the total peripheral resistance, and if the TPR is reduced, afterload is reduced, and if the afterload is reduced, workload of the heart is also reduced. Okay? But if we used high dose of the nitrates, BP falls significantly, and if the BP fall, the sympathetic स्टिमुलेशन टेक्स प्लेस बाय द रिफ्लैक्स मैकेनिज्म, और जब सिंपैथेटिक स्टिमुलेशन होगा तो दैट लीड्स द टैकीकार्डिया, दैट मीन्स इंक्रीज्ड हार्ट रेट एंड ऑल्सो इंक्रीज द कार्डियक कॉन्ट्रैक्टिलिटी एंड एंजाइना मे ऑल्सो प्रेसिपिटेट. सो डोज एडजस्टमेंट इज रिक्वायर्ड. Next, effect of nitrates on the coronary dilation. It causes the coronary dilation. Nitrate do not significantly increase blood if atheroma is present in the coronary arteries. Okay. They also dilate. The next effect of the nitrates on the other vasculature, that means nitrates also dilate other blood vessels like blood vessels that are present on the skin or meningeal blood vessel. They produce flushing by the dilating of the blood vessels that are present on the skin and headache due to the meningeal vessel vasodilation. Next, fifth point is effect on other smooth muscle. So, basically nitrate causes the relaxation of the muscle. They relax the bronchial, biliary duct and esophageal smooth muscle. Okay. Next is angina. Nitrates relief in classical angina is due to the reduced cardiac workload, because in the classical angina, pain occurred due to the exertion, due to the emotional disturbance. Means अगर workload ज़्यादा हो गया है heart पे तो anginal पेन प्रोड्यूस हो जाता है, बट क्योंकि नाइट्रेट्स रिड्यूस द वर्कलोड बाय रिड्यूसिंग द प्रीलोड एज वेल एज आफ्टरलोड, दे रिड्यूस द वर्कलोड, सो दे रिलीफ इन द क्लासिकल एंजाइना. दे ऑल्सो रिलीफ इन द वेरिएंट एंजाइना ड्यू टू द कोरोनरी vasodilation, because variant angina occur due to the coronary vasospasm and nitrates causes the coronary vasodilation. So, they relieve in the variant angina. Next, uses of the nitrates. Basically sublingual nitrates is the drug of choice for acute anginal attack. It relieve within 3 minutes, but if not relieved, the dose may be repeated 3 टैबलेट विद इन द 15 मिनट. ओके, तो सबलिंगुअली नाइट्रेट्स दी जाती है जो विद इन 3 मिनट पेन को रिलीव करती है. नाइट्रेट ऑल्सो इंक्रीज द एक्सरसाइज टॉलरेंस. ओके, एंड दे कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर क्रोनिक प्रोफाइलैक्सिस. नेक्स्ट यूज इज मायोकार्डियल इन्फार्क्शन. नाइट्रेट्स is frequently used to relieve chest pain and limit the area of necrosis by altering oxygen balance in the ischemic zone. Okay? Because they reduce the demand of the oxygen. By reducing the workload of the heart. IV glyceryl trinitrate is used to reduce cardiac workload. Next use is the CHF and acute left ventricle failure. Sublingual and IV glyceryl trinitrate is used in emergency. Why they are used in the emergency? Because nitrates afford relief by the venous pooling of the blood. They causes the venous pooling of the blood, and due to the pooling of the blood they reduce the venous return, and if the venous return is reduced, preload is reduced and end diastolic volume is reduced, and if the end diastolic volume is reduced, they reduce the cardiac workload and improve the left ventricular function. Next use in the esophageal spasm, because they relax the esophagus. So, sublingual glyceryl trinitrate is given just before the meal to counter the spasm. Next use is it is used in biliary colic. Sublingual GTN is used as spasmolytic, that means they relax the biliary tract. Uses of nitrates, they are also used in the cyanide poisoning. Okay. Actually, these are weak vasodilators. Sodium nitrate can be injected in large amount without producing the hypotension. जब cyanide की poisoning हो जाती है तो cyanide की tendency क्या होती है? Cyanide bind on the cytochrome enzyme and other vital enzyme, okay, and inhibit the cellular respiration. So, in the cyanide poisoning we immediately administer the sodium nitrite solution. 10 ml of the 3% solution IV दिया जाता है सोडियम नाइट्राइट का, and sodium nitrite solution convert the hemoglobin into the meth hemoglobin, okay, and cyanide has the tendency and greater affinity for the binding with the cyanomethemoglobin, and when cyanomethemoglobin is formed, sodium thiosulfate solution is also administered and cyanomethemoglobin is converted into the sodium thiocyanate, and sodium thiocyanate is easily excreted out of the body with urine. Okay. So, this is used in the cyanide poisoning. Pharmacokinetic, these are good lipid solubility, well absorbed from the buccal cavity, intestine and skin. So, sublingual doses are used, undergo extensive first pass metabolism. Adverse effect of the nitrates: headache, flushing, weakness, sweating, palpitation, dizziness, fainting, postural hypotension. These all are due to the vasodilation. Rashes occur with the use of pentaerythritol tetranitrate. Nitrates also develop the tolerance and dependence. Okay, अगर rapidly nitrates का use किया जा रहा है तो patient become tolerant against the nitrates. So, we produce or providing a nitrate free interval near about 8 hours का gap देते हैं और उसके बाद nitrate का dose देते हैं जिसकी वजह से tolerance को overcome किया जा सकता है. Nitrate also develop the dependency adverse effect. If we abruptly stop the nitrate use, they produce the vasospasm, or we can say acute angina attack. The next category of the anti-anginal drug is beta blockers. Beta blockers reduce the frequency, severity of attack of stable angina. They basically suppress the activation of the heart by blocking beta 1 receptor. They reduce the work of the heart by decreasing heart rate, contractility of the myocardium, cardiac output and blood pressure. With the use of beta blocker, the demand for oxygen by the myocardium is reduced during the exercise and rest. Okay. Because of these effects, as per guideline, beta blockers should be the first line drug for the stable angina because they enhance the exercise tolerance. Basically, cardioselective beta blockers are preferred over the non-selective beta blocker. So, atenolol and metoprolol are preferred over the propranolol. In patient with classical angina, beta blockers can be used with nitrates to increase the exercise tolerance, okay, because nitrates also reduce the workload. So, they can be combined with beta blockers. Long term beta blockers therapy lower risk of sudden cardiac death among ischemic heart disease. Agent with intrinsic sympathomimetic activity like pindolol are less effective and they should be avoided in angina. So, now come to the contraindications of the beta blocker. They are contraindicated in patient with asthma, diabetic, bradycardia and peripheral vascular disease, okay, because non-selective beta blocker causes the bronchoconstriction. So, they should be avoided in asthmatic patient. Now, come to the calcium channel blocker. So, basically the action of the calcium channel blockers are smooth muscle relaxation and negative chronotropic, inotropic and dromotropic effect on the heart. So, in stable angina, verapamil and deltiazem are used for prophylaxis. Why? Because they decrease the myocardial oxygen demand by negative inotropic effect and decreased after load due to the vasodilation. And in variant angina, due to the coronary vasodilation, calcium channel blockers are first choice drug, okay. And in unstable angina, not first line drug, but used in add-on therapy with nitrates when coronary vasospasm is prominent, because nitrates causes the dilation of the coronary artery. So, this is the mechanism of action of the calcium channel blocker. Calcium channel blocker bind with the L type of calcium channel and block the entry of the calcium ion into the cell. If the entry of the calcium ion inhibited into the cell, they causes the arteriolar dilation, and due to the dilation peripheral vascular resistance is decreased, and if the peripheral vascular resistance is decreased, workload is decreased without demanding the oxygen. Due to the decreased calcium concentration within the cell, myocardial contractility is also reduced. Due to that, force of contraction and heart rate is reduced, and finally, workload of myocardium is also decreased. Next is the potassium channel opener. The drug is nicorandil. Okay. So, nicorandil opens the ATP sensitive potassium channel, and when when nicorandil open the ATP sensitive potassium channel, they causes the efflux of the potassium ion, that means remove the potassium ion from the cell, and due to the removal of the potassium ion from the cell, the concentration of the potassium ion is decreased within the cell and hyperpolarization takes place, and hyperpolarization leads to the results the vascular smooth muscle relaxation, and when the vascular smooth muscles are relaxed, preload is relaxed, okay, due to the arteriolar relaxation, after load is relaxed and coronary vasodilation is also takes place. Nicorandil exert cardioprotective action by stimulating ischemic preconditioning as result of activation of mitochondrial potassium ATPase channel. The adverse effects are flushing, palpitation, weakness, dizziness, headache, nausea due to the hyperpolarization or relaxation of the smooth muscle. Now, discuss the some other anti-anginal drugs that follow the different mechanism of action. Okay. So, first drug is trimetazine. Basically, trimetazine inhibit the enzyme that involve in the fatty acid oxidation. Actually, when the ischemia condition is occur, myocardial ischemia takes place, the cell shifted towards the fatty acid oxidation. Generally, glucose molecule is used for the generation of the energy, but ischemic myocardium used fatty acid for the generation of energy and same molecules of the ATP. Okay. But fatty acid oxidation required more oxygen molecule for the generation of energy. And what is the aim of the therapy? to reduce the demand of the oxygen. ठीक है, तो जो ट्राइमेटाजीन है, ट्राइमेटाजीन inhibit the enzymes that are involved in the fatty acid oxidation pathway. ये फैटी एसिड ऑक्सीडेशन पाथवे में जो एंजाइम यूज हो रहे हैं उसको इनहिबिट कर देते हैं. मीन्स इट रिड्यूसेस द फैटी एसिड मेटाबॉलिज्म एंड इंक्रीज द ग्लूकोज मेटाबॉलिज्म in myocardium would reduce oxygen demand. Okay, that means trimetazine shifted the fatty acid oxidation pathway by glucose metabolism. That means they increase the glucose metabolism, and glucose molecule required less amount of oxygen for the generation of energy. Okay, so this is the main mechanism of action of the trimetazine. Now come to the side effects of the trimetazine. It shows the gastric burning, dizziness, fatigue and muscle cramps. Okay, and in the elderly patient, reversible Parkinson has been reported. If we stop the use of the trimetazine, Parkinson reverse in the normal condition. ठीक है, that means reversible Parkinson has been reported. Next drug is ivabradine. Ivabradine is a direct bradycardiac agent. That means they reduce the heart rate. Why? Because ivabradine directly block the sodium channel in the SA node. They reduce the sodium channel in the SA node, and जब sodium channel की entry inhibit हो जाती है in the SA node, so slow depolarization takes place, and due to that decreased heart rate, thereby reduced oxygen demand. If heart rate is increased, oxygen demand is also increased. So, they reduce the demand of oxygen. Ivabradine may be used as alternative to beta blockers. Okay. The next drug is ranolazine. Basically, ranolazine prevent the sodium dependent calcium entry. Okay, because cell contain the sodium calcium exchanger, and the calcium and entry depend on the sodium efflux from the cell. So, रोनालाजीन कैल्शियम की एंट्री को इनहिबिट करता है जो कि सोडियम पे डिपेंडेंट होता है. ठीक है, एंड ड्यू टू दैट इट रिड्यूस द ऑक्सीजन डिमांड. The side effects of the ronalazine are dizziness, weakness, constipation, postural hypotension, headache and dyspepsia. Okay. So, these are the side effects that are associated with the use of ronalazine. Okay. So, the main drugs that are used in the anti-anginal drugs causes the vasodilation or decrease the workload of the myocardium, and if the workload of the myocardium is reduced, oxygen demand by the myocardium is also reduced. These are the references for the further reading like K. D. Tripathi, Lippincott, Padmaja Uday Kumar, Harsh Mohan for the better understanding of the pathophysiology of angina pectoris. Thank you so much.